What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Hardworking Happy Hour. I'm Sean.
And I'm Catherine, and as always, we'll be breaking down all things trades, entrepreneurship, and turning your creativity into a passion career. Sean.
What's happening?
What is up? I was going to think of a funny middle name for you, but I couldn't.
It's Michael.
Sean something. Well, I know your middle name, but I was going to say Sean something. Sean. Patricia Collinsgrew, how is your week going?
That's hilarious. That was really good. It's going great. It's going pretty good. What's today? It's Thursday. The week's kind of flown by already, and we're getting into that fall kind of crisp weather. I don't know if you can see, I have a new flannel that I just got yesterday, which I'm pretty excited about.
Can I guess where you bought it?
Yes, but I think you'll be wrong. Go ahead.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it from Costco?
It's not. No. It is from, I'll give you one more guess. It's a store that you really enjoy.
Sierra.
No. Good guess.
Oh. A store I like?
A store you love.
A store I love?
Yeah, a store you love. You love going there. So great.
Costco and Sierra really.
They have so many supplies.
Tractor Supply.
Tractor Supply. Yep. Yeah.
Solid
On the
choice.
way home
Solid
yesterday, because I'm switching into winter/fall. What do you call the things that you wear? Clothes.
Clothing.
Switching into that mode, and so I was like, you know what? I should get some new boots. Usually I get a new pair of boots, as we get into this new boot season, because during the summer I like to wear sneakers with shorts.
Yeah.
So last year loved the boots I got at Tractor Supply, so I wanted to get another pair, and got some new pants and this new flannel too.
You did get a new pair of Ridge Cuts?
I got a new pair of Ridge Cuts, top to bottom.
Have you worn them yet?
Yeah, I wore them today.
Were you? Oh,
yeah.
I didn't even notice. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
I would have commented.
Okay. That's okay. That's okay. I was waiting for the comment, but missed that moment.
Not even Ant?
Somebody might have. I forget. I think somebody did. Steve did.
Okay, good. Oh, good.
Steve did. But yeah, I got Rich Cut pants and I got this Rich Cut flannel. So I'm all geared up from Tractor Supply, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. So how's your week been?
I bought some new boots. I'm just waiting for them to come in the mail, and God, when things aren't like Amazon 2-day shipping, who's got the time? Because I went Timberland, and I ordered them days ago. They haven't even shipped yet, so I can't even track them. I don't even know where they're at.
That's insane.
I know.
That's insane.
Such an
I was
antiquated way of
literally
doing things.
just thinking on the way home, because I got these new pants, and I'm like, okay, these are going to be just the pants I wear this fall.
Mm-hmm.
They fit nice, reasonably priced, but there wasn't that many there, so I was like, I'd have to order them, and I'm like, gosh, that'll take forever. I can't wait for that. It's so dire that I get more of these pants right now.
Right this second, yeah.
And I realized that was kind of silly. So, just be patient. When those boots are going to come when they were meant to come. And I hope that they're not white. You went with white sneakers this summer.
No,
which
didn't.
What do you mean?
They were not white. They're gray.
Okay, an extremely
very
light
solidly gray. No, they're gray.
Okay.
They
all
did.
Right.
They're gray, but like the first or second day that I wore them, it was a orange mud day, and then they were just immediately just orange, like very stained. So
okay.
And I have been wearing them, and the sole is now flapping off. So anytime I walk, it like collects dirt and flings it as I walk.
That's a good look.
It's time for these boots, but I gotta wait.
Yeah, well, really excited for that, and I always look forward to the fall because you get that nice crisp. It just feels like it's time for like a new wardrobe. That's the word I was looking for. Wardrobe. It's like, all right, well, this summer I cut all my pants into shorts, so I need a total new wardrobe, and I'm excited about it. So
yeah,
that's what I got going on in my life. What do you got going on this week?
Oh. Well, I got this cat I'm taking care of. I don't know if anybody still cares about that cat. He's doing good, though.
The cat. Is he? Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if we mentioned him on the podcast.
I don't think so.
Found a cat. His name is Tow Truck. He was very, very ill. Now he's great. He's spunky and running around and getting a little chubby. So thought he was gonna
Great.
die. He didn't. He's doing so much better. And all's well with Tow Truck, the cat.
That is awesome. Love to hear that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He was a good little van buddy there for a couple days. Good. He's a good job site pet.
He was a great job site cat, but now it's too cold. He can't come. So
yeah, and he pooped in the van,
and it was heinously smelly. Yeah, that
it
was
really
a real
was.
problem.
It was like you can't blame the cat.
He was working on some things. He was
He's just a tiny little kitten, but it was like, oh wow, yeah, he pooped, huh? And then it was like, oh my God, how did that come out of that tiny little kitten? That's just honestly impressive. Honestly impressive. So
it was pretty bad. Yeah.
Good job, Tow Truck.
Yeah.
Good job. Good
Yeah.
job. Well, I'm glad to hear he's doing good.
Yeah, he's doing much better.
That's good. That's good because he's a tiny little kitten. He's a tiny little adorable kitten.
Yeah, and I've fostered many an animal in my life. I'm right around fostering 100 animals in my lifetime.
Oh
Tow Truck
God,
is
really?
now one of them. Yeah, and he has. I kind of want to keep him, but he's got so many suitors. So many people want to adopt this cat.
Oh yeah, he's adorable.
I would have no. If I do want to rehome him, I have no problem finding him a home because wow, it's surprising how many people want a tiny little kitten.
Oh, they're adorable. Once they grow up to cats, nobody wants it, but
Yeah, you gotta get him at this.
Well, it's a kitten. Well, it's
this
still
ripe young
so
age.
adorable. What do you have like an Excel sheet to track this kind of stuff? How are you keeping this tally? That's a lot. That's way more than I would have thought.
Oh, well, 100 is really easy to get to when you're doing like litters of things. Like I've fostered like a litter of puppies that was like 8 puppies. So that's
wow.
8 in one shot.
And
kittens.
Good way to get your numbers up.
It's a good way to boost your numbers for sure.
Yeah.
I've never done more than 4 kittens at once. I think 4 kittens is my.
It's a good number.
But it, and I've done like one at a time. I've done baby animals and also adult single animals. So I fostered for many, many years, and that's how my number got like that. But it's really like the litters that really added up quickly.
Pump up those numbers, yeah.
Up those numbers, yeah.
Good job. Good job.
Thanks.
Really
thanks.
proud of you. You're really just out here doing God's work. It's amazing. It's really amazing. Yeah. Well, should we get into the episode? should we talk about like construction stuff? I don't. We don't have to. We don't have to. What do we got this week?
Okay. So OSHA just released their Q3 biggest fine holders of 2024, and A, I didn't know this was public information. B, I didn't know the fees were so high, and I really went on a deep dive of like this information, and I found it to be incredibly interesting.
Wow, this sounds like it could be some sort of segment.
This is our segment 4.
Breaking news: construction worldwide.
Construction news.
We gotta work on the intro wording there.
Yeah.
Like something really like just across the news desk, coming live from.
Oh, we should work on our anchor voices. You know how they speak in like a very
dignified way.
I probably couldn't even do it, but we should work on that.
Yeah, me definitely not. Definitely not. I'm not cut out for that kind of stuff. All right, well, let's get into it. This sounds exciting.
Okay, so before we start, when OSHA fines you and you pay your fine, Sean, do you know, well, not that you've ever been fined, but let's say you were to pay a fine to OSHA. Do you know where that money goes?
It's probably some sort of like corrupt thing where it just goes straight to a politician or something. No, wow, I can't even guess. I don't know. Is there like some sort of disability?
No, it just goes into the U.S. General Fund. It just
gets lost into the into the abyss of
these are huge, massive amounts of money, which I'm about to tell you all about. But it just goes into the U.S. General Fund. I thought for sure it would go back into like making workplaces safer or something, education, free PPE for people. I was really surprised to find out that it's just like the fine is definitely to deter people from infractions or whatever. But then I thought for sure that it would go back into. So I was really surprised by that. I was like, you just lose it. It just goes somewhere.
Yeah, that's
kind of lame.
Yeah, it's totally lame, and So who's funding OSHA? OSHA isn't even self-funding. They're giving all their money away. This sounds like a scam. It sounds like a Ponzi scheme is what it sounds like, you know?
Just a corrupt government agency.
Classic.
Classic.
Like they all are.
Just kidding. Anyway, okay. So, thing I want to point out, number 2, I'm about to talk about all these things and the different kinds of fines. And as I was reading this, I was like, they just seem like they're very willy-nilly with their like levels of infractions. So before we get into that, I just want to talk about the 6 types of like severity for the fines. Just so it makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
De minimis. De minimis. Sounds like a fake word. Is a minor violation. I'm not sure why they chose that. Other than serious. Like that's the term. Other than serious.
This is another category?
This is a category 2. Other than serious. This is why I feel like I have to explain it because it makes no sense.
This makes no sense.
That's a violation that's related to an employee's health and safety, but isn't serious enough to pose an immediate physical threat.
Okay.
And then you have category 3, serious, something that could end in injury or death. Willful is category 4. That occurs when an employer knowingly disregards a legal requirement or intentionally puts employees in harm's way. Repeated, makes sense. It's just a repeated offense. And then failure to abate. It's when an employer doesn't fix a previous violation. So I'm going to keep saying these words, so I just wanted to make sure everyone's, if you're just saying like other than serious, doesn't really make too much.
It seems like they're purposely trying to make it confusing, so they just kind of hit you with whatever they feel like on that day.
Could definitely be that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go through these.
Beautiful.
And what their infractions were. And I'm going to name names because they're in this article, so.
Call them out.
I don't see why not.
Yeah.
First up, and I'm going to go in ascending order. So this is number 9. We have out of Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, GL Construction, which is a framing contractor, and they face $144,000 in penalties.
Wow.
So what they did, it's a residential construction site. Officers observed 6 employees of GL Construction working at heights of up to 12 feet without PPE. As a result, the company is facing 1 willful, 2 repeat, and 5 serious violations issued in August. OSHA claims it found employees exposed to falls and other hazards in each of the last 4 years. In October 2023, 4 months prior to the latest investigation, OSHA said it found employees exposed to fall hazards and cited the company for 1 repeat and 2 serious violations. So this is like a real compounding things that they did not take care of, which is how it got to be $144,000. And in April of 2022, an employee of GL Construction died when a 1,000-pound wall tipped over as a work crew tried to use a crane to lift the structure in high winds. As a result, OSHA cited the company for 9 serious and 2 other than serious violations.
Wow.
And they have not paid a dime yet, so that's how they got up to $144,000. And
that's crazy.
I also want to say a lot of these have death in it, and I feel like that's very if we're joking about it, that is not, it's just we don't mean to be dismissive about these things because this is like a person that died, and that's very, very sad that someone had to die while they were at work. So
yeah,
I don't want to come off as dismissive about this, but this is like, how is this company still around? This is insane. This is so many violations.
The wheels of justice churn slowly, I guess. It's because all of this is just alleged until it's proven. I suppose.
I guess.
I mean, it seems pretty cut and dry here, but that's pretty wild. And I'm imagining that if they're a framing company, they're probably framing up track houses and in developments, and it's probably guys, setting roof rafters, all that kind of stuff, no fall protection, all of that. And yeah, I guess that's scary,
Yeah.
lifting a freaking wall in high winds, and it blows off, I guess, and kills somebody. It is serious. It's super serious, obviously, and so good disclaimer there. If we do make any Snyder remarks, we do take this serious, and so it's a serious matter.
Yeah. And also, I'm sure that there's some sort of structure to go along with these willy-nilly words that they use to define the infractions, but the fine numbers make no sense to me. Like, for this, like, it's a bunch of fines and a person died, and it's the 9th. And there are other ones where it's just like one infraction and they're paying a lot more. So I do not understand the fee structure of this.
Yeah, that seems like, and plus it's like compounding over time, and they had somebody die, they've got like 10 more infractions, and seems like it would be higher than that, based on some of the things that I've heard with just like kind of, the diminutive fines that people get or whatever. So, all right, well, let's hey, get it figured out, GL Construction.
I know.
Ridiculous.
And I don't know if anybody cares, but they're contesting it, so. And they have no public available contact information, so they couldn't be reached for comment.
What are they?
Not by
They're
me.
claiming that they got framed?
Yeah, probably.
Are they claiming that they got framed?
The framers got framed.
You get it?
Wouldn't that be convenient?
Yeah. Doubt it.
Okay,
all right, what else we got?
Or number 8, I guess. I'm going backwards. Carpenter Contractors of America, Inc. For the second time in 5 years, OSHA has found a Florida framing contractor allowed employees to work on a roof without adequate protection, exposing workers to deadly falls. In January, OSHA inspectors observed employees of Carpenter Contractors of America on a residential job site working at heights of up to 32 feet with no fall protection. The firm faces one willful citation issued in July with $161,000 in initial penalties. In January 2020, they faced $30,000 in initial fines for 2 other than serious violations, including a lack of fall protection. But a judge kind of reduced it. This one's kind of bounced around a little bit. But to me, that doesn't make any sense. Like, the first one, somebody died. This one, it's just, 32 feet with no fall protection, that's kind of egregious.
That's really high, yeah.
But, like, nobody died, no offense, and it's more. So I don't understand that.
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But, and, it's, I feel like there could be a lot of old school framers out there. Like, my dad, when he first started his company, they kind of got in with a builder, and their whole thing was doing roofing down at the shore over like the winter months. And all of those houses are 3-story houses. You're doing it in the winter, so it's cold. The roofs could be wet and slippery, and there's high winds, and nobody had fall protection back then. All the people building those houses didn't have fall protection. So I feel like it could be, it's kind of like it's like a new requirement maybe from OSHA, but it's just like a new mentality that, I think as we become more connected as a world, you hear more about people that fall and people that die, and, makes it more top of mind when you're working. So people are more open to being safer, which is great. But there's so many people out there that grew up framing and all that kind of stuff, and they're like, oh, I was walking 3rd floor plates and, just no fall protection, nothing like that, and did it forever, So
yeah,
it's interesting. It's interesting. Yeah. Well, what else we got?
Yeah. Okay, number 7. This one is the one probably people have heard about. It's Big D Builders in Meridian, Ohio.
Okay.
The name is interesting. As a result of an under-construction airplane hangar that collapsed on January 31st, killing 3 people and injuring 9, a contractor faces $198,000 in initial penalties. Big D Builders in Meridian, Idaho, allegedly used insufficient bracing and tensioned guy wires while ignoring numerous indications that the structure was unstable, including visibly curved structural I-beams. And
Yowzers.
They didn't do any training. This one was on the news. I do remember that. And they were having people work in like mud and standing water, which could lead to equipment overturning. So this one is number 7 on the list. And to me, this is like incredibly egregious. It killed 3 people. And how are you going to look at an I-beam and be like, it's a little curved. It's probably fine.
Yeah, that
No
shouldn't
big
be
deal.
curved, I don't think. I don't know anything about building airplane hangars, but yeah, your I-beam should probably be straight the whole
Yeah.
time. Once they
Yeah.
start to curve, probably not a great spot to
Not a great
be in.
sign. Yeah.
Wow. Wow, and that's
Yeah.
7. 3 people died. So
Yes.
what else we got? Let's keep moving through this list.
Okay. CMD Endeavors Inc. This was a Texas-based sewer and water contractor. They failed to ensure a trench had proper protection in February, resulting in the death of a 37-year-old employee when the excavation caved in. They face a bunch of different violations for it, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, the company now faces $260,000 in penalties. And this is, the way that they're talking about it is this is just like the first round of penalties. They might be facing more, but for this first part, they reached a settlement for $180,000. So they only ended up paying They only ended up paying $180,000 of their fine.
I feel like in that
also
case,
didn't know you could just settle.
Well, everything's up for negotiation in life, but I'm surprised that in situations like that, when somebody has died, like that, the money doesn't go in some way to the family. I feel like that would be.
Yeah, that would make sense.
There's still like civil action that can be pursued and all that kind of stuff, and or insurance payout, some sort of death benefit for under your contractor's insurance. I don't know, but it just seems like they're collecting all this money, and then what are they doing with it?
Yeah,
we're shipping it off to other countries or whatever. Let's not get into that. I don't even understand world politics. So anyway,
okay.
All right, well, I can't believe that so many people are dying in these OSHA things. People do joke about OSHA, like they're always just trying to bust people for just doing honest work and all this kind of stuff. But it can be dangerous. You're digging a trench for a sewer, and that's why you see those. I forget what are they called, dig boxes or whatever, where it's like steel walls, in the trench, because they can cave in, and if you're 6 feet down or whatever, you might stay there 6 feet down, 6 feet under. So it's important to, even though some of these things are some of the fines not in these cases, but some of the more minor things that you hear about might seem kind of trivial, and it seems like they're just beating up on contractors sometimes. It raises awareness of these things, which is important. So
yeah. So up until this point, there's been like deaths, and I understand the fines. Well, the structure doesn't make sense, but I understand why they would get fined. And I'm like, wow, thank God there isn't somebody looking out for this. This next one kind of feels like they're just picking on somebody. So this is Droman Development LLC. They're based out of Chicago, and for the 7th time since 2013, they cited this framing contractor for lack of safety equipment and training. So they observed Droman Development working at heights greater than 6 feet without fall protection, and it
6 feet.
It also failed to provide appropriate safety training and ensure workers were wearing hard hats and using ladders properly. And they faced $268,000 in fines. So this one, I'm like,
that seems a little.
This seems silly.
Yeah. Heights over 6 feet.
And I guess I'm sure that once you're on OSHA's radar, they're probably going to keep checking on you. So that's how you get 7 offenses for this. But
yeah.
But come on, 6 feet.
That doesn't seem very high, but they did say higher than 6 feet. So. And hey,
the other one said higher than 30.
You could
the other one said
hurt.
Higher than 32 feet. So it's I feel like they're pretty good at what.
Yeah, it's probably 6.5 feet.
Yeah. I mean, any fall is not going to be great, but I mean, this one kind of felt
that seems much less egregious. I will say that. I will say it sounds much less egregious than the other ones. So, that one seems a little bit petty, but maybe they had a lot of warnings and they just, they really needed to send the message, which we're going to need some more information on this case, and we'll investigate it. We'll get to the bottom of it.
Okay. The next one is KW Framing. And this is another Chicago area framer who was fined $317,000 across multiple citations. It observed employees of KW Framing working in heights of up to 30 feet without fall protection. And they didn't have required equipment while they erected exterior walls on structures 2 to 3 stories high. Again, this one, seems not great.
Yeah.
But, not too bad. But I think, I bet the compounding, I bet it's the compounding. I bet if you get cited once, it's probably not that bad. And then once you're up to your 7th or whatever infraction, you're probably...
And what are they looking at fine-wise?
They are at, $317,000 across multiple citations.
Jeez, it sounds like these Chicago-based OSHA inspectors are working on
They're going to get you.
It sounds like they're getting a little cut of something, Something seems a little amiss here in Chicago.
Yeah. Oh, it also notes that they didn't have proper eye protection, so.
I'm a big proponent of that.
Yeah.
I've come after you many times saying, wear some freaking glasses. You don't want to...
Yeah.
Safety squint is not a real method of safety. It's not. It doesn't work that well. It works pretty well, but it doesn't work 100% of the time.
Yeah.
So wear some safety glasses. I'm big on that. All right.
Right.
What else we got? How many more we got?
Gosh, I lost count. 1, 2, 3. There's 3 left.
Okay. And they keep going up. Wow. Okay.
Keep going up. Okay. So where was I? Okay. Sound Construction out of Connecticut. We're back to a death, so this is reasonable. Okay. An Easton, Connecticut contractor could have prevented a worker death in a December trench collapse. Investigators say that they determined that Sound Construction exposed 5 employees to cave-ins, engulfments, or struck by hazards on a New Canaan, Connecticut job site. OSHA claimed the company failed to provide cave-in protection for the 12-foot deep trench, train employees on how to recognize and avoid trenching hazards, ensure an excavator was kept further than 2 feet from the trench's edge, ensure the location of underground utilities prior to excavation. An unprotected trench wall struck an employee and partially buried them more than 12 feet deep. He died as a result. So
that seems pretty bad. 12 feet. Wow. Yeah. I wonder what they were building. 12 feet, a 12-foot trench. Wow.
Did I say the fine for this? It's $394,000. But that makes sense. Somebody died, and I feel like when you're trenching,
12 feet.
I guess if you're not doing anything at ground level, you're fine. If you're trenching or if you're really high up,
you need the safety.
You gotta know that there's some safety things you gotta work with.
And I'm aware of, when we are trenching something out, with the dingo, don't drive the dingo horizontally right next to the trench because it could, the dingo will fall over. Nobody's going to get hurt in that scenario because it's a 6-inch wide trench but driving an excavator right next to a freaking 12-foot deep trench, that's insane.
Yeah.
And having 5 people down there or whatever.
2 feet. 2 feet seems
really close.
Yeah.
It's
really incredibly close. I don't know anything
that's
about
insane.
That, but it seems like that should be I can't believe that's the requirement. 2 feet is nothing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so that one's bad.
Okay.
Okay, next up we have, and this, to me, spoiler alert, way more egregious than number 1. This one, to me, is the most insane story. Boston Waterproofing and Construction Corporation. They have a total of $451,000 worth of fines. A Boston waterproofing contractor allegedly exposed workers to life-threatening excavation hazards on 2 residential work sites, one in Massachusetts, one in Rhode Island. In both instances, a supervisor from Boston Waterproofing and Construction recruited, then ordered untrained day laborers to enter and work in unprotected excavations despite safety concerns raised by employees, the agency said. The employer also allegedly did not provide any cave-in protection. Both the excavations collapsed, with each cave-in injuring and burying a worker, OSHA claims. The agency said the employer made no attempt to rescue the trapped employee at the Arlington job site on September 10th. 2023, instead taking away the employee's phone and even striking the trapped employee with objects to prevent the employee from seeking medical attention. At the Warwick site on December 2nd, 2023, the trapped employee asked for the employer to call 911 and for transport to the hospital, but the employer objected, instead carrying the injured worker to a personal vehicle where they then dropped the employee off at an urgent care facility.
Oh, God.
So that's insane.
That person should go to prison.
I agree.
That's insane. I don't know if that was just like, I don't know how that could be like misconstrued and dramatized, like that you took away the person's phone and then struck them while they were partially buried. Like, what?
Yeah. Wild.
If that's really what happened, if that's like an accurate portrayal of the situation, like that person needs to go to prison, right? And did anyone die in that case?
They did not die.
Still, I mean, that's just accidents happen. So I don't want to say that, like, but this just seems like, well, what would you call it? Gross negligence?
I feel like it's more than negligence. It's like
malfeasance. I don't know if that's the right terminology there, but that just seems like I could see, if you're working on these big projects, like you need to be trained in the right safety, but like I could see how an injury could happen without the person in charge having some sort of ill intent. There could be negligence and just not knowing and ignorance causing something really bad to happen, which isn't good, obviously. Like, that's still on them, but like this is just, pretty absurd to like, okay, the thing has happened and now like, no, you're not going to go to the hospital. Like, I'm not going to like call anybody. I'm going to take your phone and then I'm going to hit you with stuff while you're in the hole. Like, that's definitely the worst one, I think.
Yeah.
Even though nobody died in this scenario, like, that's insane.
Yeah.
The people probably have died there. They just leave them in the hole.
Yeah.
It sounds
and
like.
I mean, it sounds like they're just day laborers. So it's probably like,
they're picking people up from Home Depot and saying, hey, you want to dig a hole today?
And they don't care about them. They're just like, oh, it's just a one-off person. I just need a body. That's so sad. That actually
That's
makes
really
me
sad.
sad.
That's horrible. That's horrible. They should go to prison.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, so the last one is U.S. tank painting, and their initial fines are $485,000. Did I say for the last one? Did I say the fine?
I'm not sure.
Okay. The negligence one was $451,000. Okay, so this one is $485,000. In New Jersey, a water tower painting contractor faces 3 willful and 19 serious violations after OSHA found it failed to provide or install safety equipment that could have prevented an employee from falling 80 feet and suffering severe injuries. Which, kudos to whoever that is to not
die. They didn't die?
Oh my God. 80 feet is like a lot.
That's really high. And usually water towers are above ground. So, like, they're not like in the water, even though it sounds like they could be. Usually the water towers are on land. So, like, landing on the ground, whether it's whatever material, dirt, grass, asphalt, concrete, that I'm really surprised that they're not dead. They have to be like, horribly disfigured and paralyzed or something.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane.
Yes.
Wow.
Really crazy. So it says that they had workers sandblast and paint the interior and exterior of a Bayville, New Jersey water tower and place a ladder attached to the structure. The company failed to ensure that the workers used proper fall protection, as well as exposed workers to a slew of other harmful hazards, such as high noise levels with no protection and lack of training and protection from silica hazards. So as a result, contractor faces $485,000 in proposed penalties.
That seems reasonable to me too. Imagine sandblasting the inside of a water tower. How loud that must be. Like, it just reverberating inside of there.
That would be incredibly loud. And the
silica.
You're just like marinating in the dust. So
that's horrible.
That is bad. But I guess falling from 80 feet is that is like egregious. But nobody died.
yeah, that's insane. That person didn't die, but that's like a thing where I can't. I feel like there's no case to be like, oh well, we've done it without like certain framers. They're 25 feet in the air or whatever, setting roof rafters, and like we've always done it this way. Like 80 feet high, painting the side of a water
Yeah.
tower. Like I feel like that's a situation. Like okay, there's no hey, we're old school about it. It's you know
Yeah,
that's high.
there's never an instance where you wouldn't wear something on a water
Yeah,
tower. If you're
yeah,
framing a roof, it's like, well, sometimes it's just a one-story roof. You don't need anything
yeah,
for that. I could see
yeah,
how that would get like a blurry, like, oh, I'm just used to doing it. I'll just toss it up there. With water
yeah.
towers, it's like there's no instance where you shouldn't be wearing something.
I agree. I agree. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, so that's the number one fine, and this is all from
Yes.
Q3 of
So this is like some of these incidents are old, but this is when the fees were assigned during this Q3 of 2024. So
wow.
wow. I mean Q3. So I wonder what
Yeah,
Q4. What are we looking for in Q4 of 2024?
bar set pretty high. See what it can deliver. That's insane. That's crazy. I think it is pretty wild that like the money that they recoup doesn't go into like job site safety training or even like just like education for like workplace or training or
Yeah.
like I don't know, helping people get jobs or something. I don't know. It just seems like it should go to that.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
whatever.
I was very surprised to hear that.
Well, OSHA, you're doing your job in most cases, it sounds like. So yeah, keep going, I guess. But
Yeah.
if anybody wants a good handle to follow, OSHA, is this okay? You follow that? Where it's just like crazy things that people are
No.
doing that don't seem safe. They should look into that and see who's doing that kind of stuff because that stuff is bad. And it's
Yeah.
crazy. It's crazy. So, all right, well, I don't know what else to say about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I will
You got
say
any
doing
closing
this.
remarks on it?
Well, I mean, I guess maybe we're just lucky we've never had to worry about OSHA coming after us, knock on wood.
Yeah.
So I was always kind of viewing it as like, oh, what a pesky little thorn in everybody's side. I've only ever heard people complaining about it. But after reading this, I was like, thank God that someone is out there trying
Yeah.
their best to protect people. Maybe sometimes it's a little misguided or they miss the mark sometimes, but my God,
In
is it better
general,
than
yeah.
nothing?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. And some
people
of
are
these
out
cases
here,
are insane.
and
Yeah.
you want to believe that like people are good and will do things to protect their employees, and at the very least, for the fact that if somebody gets hurt, then they're out an employee. Like there's got to be some sort of something, but
Yeah.
apparently not. People don't care. They're burying their employees and they don't really care. So I'm really glad there's
Crazy.
people out
Get
here.
better, people. Get
Yeah.
better. Get better, do better, be better.
Yes.
That's
So
a nice little tagline there.
yeah.
Get better, do better, be better. All right. Well, thank you for that in-depth OSHA report. Exciting stuff, exhilarating stuff.
Yes.
And it leads me into something that I want to talk about a little bit. That is, I don't want to say it's as serious, but it's up there, and that is the new. Wow! First off, thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
I want more sound effects. Thank you.
Let's try.
Almost as serious, and there's so much to this topic, and that is the new Ninja Creamy that I got. A countertop ice cream maker. And
Now, is it new to you or new to the world?
I think this is like a version 2 because I've done a deep dive looking for recipes and all this kind of stuff. So I think it's been out for a little while. Not sure how long, but Sarah got it for me for my birthday. Because you can make ice cream like out of almost anything. You just like put
Great
stuff in
gift.
there and it just makes ice cream. It's really cool. It's really cool. So we tried it out, and I'm just like looking at this, and I'm like, this is insane. This thing that you can buy for, I think it was $175 at Costco.
It's kind of steep.
Oh, you think so? It's an ice cream maker. you know how quickly you'll be saving money? Like, do you know how much I spend on ice cream? This is gonna like I'm basically making money here.
All right, all
Uh,
right.
so first off, it's really cool. The first thing that we did was just like, all right, just like we throw a protein shake and a couple Oreos into there, and then you freeze it, and then you put it in there, and it just like makes it into ice cream,
Hmm.
and that's it. It's pretty crazy. But it got me thinking. I'm like, Ninja, what an interesting like case study on a brand, because after sitting there in awe of my ice cream being made right in front of me from just random ingredients that we were just like, oh, let's put this in there and see what happens, and turned out good. I'm like, we've got like 3 countertop appliances that I would say for the most part are not necessary, that are all Ninja.
Mm.
And it's like they've really taken a stranglehold on this countertop appliance game and just run with it. And we looked into it a little bit. I brought it up to you. We were looking at the website and everything, and they've expanded into all kinds of products and everything.
Mhm.
And it just really, by being in such awe of this Ninja Creamy, and then realizing without even really knowing it, like, oh wait, we have a Ninja air fryer, we've got a Ninja blender, we've probably got other Ninja stuff that I'm not even thinking of. But it's like this one company puts all this technology and engineering into these small countertop appliances
Mm.
and convinces people to buy them when they're really not necessary. Like, why do you need an air fryer? I don't know, because it's like it is awesome, and I feel like I need one now,
Mhm.
and I just feel like it really got me thinking about how people brand themselves and how people can like leverage the things that they're good at to expand their offerings. So it got me thinking about us, and we do backyards, we do all kinds of construction type of stuff, and our brand is really like this high design, unique kind of stuff, and it's like what other kind of possibilities could we like leverage that brand into? The brand means that people trust us and they think that this thing is going to be cool, and Premiere did it, so it's a cool backyard. And like, how could we leverage that into, like, we've talked about coming up with like kits that you can build yourself, like, or selling like kind of like instructions on how to incorporate elements into your backyard, like planter boxes and benches and bars and all that kind of stuff. And I don't really have an answer to that yet exactly, but it just really like it was like an eye-opening moment when I took that first plate of Ninja Creamy ice cream, and it was like,
Mhm.
when I see a Ninja product, I'm just like, I bet that this thing is reasonably priced, it works really well, and I should probably buy it. And it's amazing how huge of a business they've created off of something that, really they're making things that aren't really necessary. Like, do people need an in-home ice cream maker? Probably not. I feel like I do, but most people probably not. Yet they're selling like millions of these things, and they've built this all on this Ninja brand where people just, they trust that it's a Ninja, it's going to work really well. And we've got Blender. We've had it for years now. It's amazing. And it was like $99. It's like the best freaking blender. And that's just kind of what I got on that.
All right, I do have a couple follow-up questions.
All right, go for it.
Have you made any ridiculous ice cream flavors yet? Like pickle or like beef jerky or something?
No, no,
Why
no.
not?
Uh, I haven't had it that long, first of all, to get to that point.
You've had plenty of time to make pickle ice.
That's just no. I'm trying to really fine tune like a good, somewhat healthy ice cream. Get the consistency right. So I froze two bases yesterday that I'm gonna play with today in my laboratory, and
Okay.
see what I come up with. But it's amazing the amount of engineering that goes into this thing, and like and then I think $175 is like cheap for it makes freaking ice cream. It's like gold, you know?
Yeah, I mean, hey, if you're willing to spend that money on it, then it's worth it. I personally would not.
Well, that's
But you are getting a lot of
a
joy
bad
out of
look
it.
on you.
So that is,
Yeah.
it seems
All right,
like
well,
you are really getting your money's worth.
Do you have any other follow-up questions on it?
No, I do agree with you though. Ninja has, so like for the blender, for example, like a Vitamix is like the nicest version of a blender,
Yeah.
and then you got your like Hampton, what is the like low? It's like Hampton something.
Hamilton Beach.
Hamilton Beach.
That's what you're thinking of, yeah.
Those are like $19.99. So Ninja has like firmly placed themselves right in the middle of like, we don't look as expensive as a Vitamix, but we're nicer than a Hamilton Beach. So
yeah,
they've really positioned themselves well with their pricing. And when we were looking through the website, it is astonishing how many countertop appliances they make. They even make they have the Ninja Crispy, which is like it's an air fryer, but you put stuff like it's like a glass bowl. You put your stuff in it, and then it's just this thing that sits on top of it. So it's like a more portable version of the already more portable version of an air fryer. Which,
wow,
I don't know how they can convince people they need these things, but man, they're selling like hotcakes. So
I feel like I need it right now. It just blows me away because it's like they're hard. Like it's hard to find room on your countertop to fit these appliances, but people do it anyway because they work really well. Like we use the air fryer more than we probably use any other appliance in our kitchen.
You really use it a lot?
A pretty good amount. I mean, it's mostly just to like heat up French fries and chicken nuggets for Max and me, but it works really well. It works really well, and it's super fast, and it just works. The blender, it just works. So when I see Ninja, I'm just like, I'm getting something good here. I'm getting something good, and I just think we can pull something from that. It's like what can your brand become that you can diversify into other things? Like they've diversified into cookware and all kinds of like accessory things around that, because I think they've done such a good job of, when you think the Ninja brand, you think of that air fryer that you have or that blender you have, and you're like, this is really good. It was reasonably priced compared to other options, and it works really freaking well.
Yeah.
So I think they've done an incredible job with that, and I think we can all just kind of reflect on that and see how we can do that within our own businesses. Like what is that brand promise that we have?
Yeah.
As a
like
company,
staying within your niche, but still being able to expand.
Yeah. So that's just kind of a referendum I got for today. I'll get back to you on how I perfect these ice cream recipes, and I'm pretty excited about it. So there will be updates, whether you like it or not.
We will be on the edge of our seats for updates.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got on that. So take it for what you will. We'll put the link to the Ninja Creamy in the show notes. We probably won't. I don't think we will. But anyway. All right. Well, I guess that's probably it for this episode, right? Because we don't really...
At 4-4.
Oh wow. Okay. So who wants the question first? You want me to ask you first, or you want to ask me first?
Yeah, you ask me first.
Okay. All right. Are you familiar with galvanization?
Gosh, yeah.
Well, we'll see. Okay. Galvanization is a process in which you extend the durability of steel to the elements. Yes. Now, to galvanize something, steel is reacting with another compound, which is copper. True or false?
Is reacting to copper? See, maybe like a copper chloride being dipped in or something?
Is that even a thing? Chloride? Copper chloride? Maybe.
Well, isn't it called like hot dipped when something gets galvanized?
Yeah, hot dipped galvi.
Yeah. So I assume it's being dipped in some sort of chloride. sort of acid or something. Copper. I'm gonna go false.
False is correct. It
Oh.
you were on the right track there for sure with your thinking. Yeah, it's dipped in a zinc.
Zinc.
Like a
Yeah,
zinc
that makes
bath.
sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, so hey, great line of thinking to come up with that answer. That was really like a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire type of moment, like, or Slumdog Millionaire type of moment you just had.
Sometimes
Great
I need
job.
to
Great
talk
job.
things out.
All right, what do you got for me?
Okay. Oh gosh, no, I clicked away from my notes. Okay.
Oh no.
So I got it back. Don't worry. All right. I went with a theme. All of mine are OSHA themed.
Okay.
You know, we were talking about it. Okay.
Oh,
True. True or false?
That's what you say when you see OSHA.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
True or false? Employers are mandated to report injuries or illnesses to OSHA within 24 hours. True or false?
False.
No, it's true.
Oh,
you should know that.
I got a splinter in my hand today. Do I need to report that?
I think so.
Dang it. All right. I was thinking you were trying to trick me, and it was like 48 hours.
48, yeah. That's why when I asked it, I emphasized the 24 to make you think.
Good job. Good job.
Mental warfare.
Psychological warfare at its finest. All right.
Okay.
1-0 here. Okay. I guess I kind of I went with a little bit of a theme on these first two questions.
Okay.
You've heard of stainless steel, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Stainless steel is also kind of like galvanized steel, a reaction that occurs with steel being, kind of introduced to another compound.
Okay.
And that compound is A, chromium, B, manganese, C, magnesium, or D, copper.
Now with the mental warfare, you throw copper in there twice, it's making me think.
It's got to be the answer to something, right? It's got to be right on one of these questions. You want me to say them again?
This one's a hard one. No, it's chromium, manganese, magnesium, and copper.
Yep.
I don't know if I just like the word manganese or if I feel like that's the right answer.
I feel like you don't know what the right answer is.
I
feel like you have no clue. I feel like whatever you pick, it's going to be a total guess.
The manganese.
You will be wrong on that. It is chromium.
That one felt like the obvious one, so I was like, it's probably not
like
that.
chrome?
Yeah.
Yeah, like chrome, yeah. Now that you say that, it does seem kind of obvious, but
yeah,
I never knew like what it's like stainless steel. Like what? I don't know. Is that like a different steel? I didn't know they like just take steel and make it into stainless steel. I don't know. I just never really thought about it. But interesting there. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Hit me with a question.
Okay. Which American president is responsible for the formation of OSHA? A, Lyndon B. Johnson. B,
LBJ.
a big fan?
Hell yeah. The biggest. My gosh.
B, Richard Nixon. C, Gerald Ford. Or D, Jimmy Carter.
I'm going to say I feel like it wouldn't be a Republican because they're like, we don't need more whatever. What do they call those things?
Government overreach.
Yeah, Jimmy Carter, because he was big into Habitat for Humanity till the day he died.
He was, yeah. And he recently just passed away, so.
Rest in peace, Jimmy.
Yeah. Good man, that guy. No, that's not right. Sorry. I was kind of thinking.
Let me guess again.
Okay.
FDR. I know that wasn't one of the options. No, I don't know.
Sleeper choice. No, it was Richard Nixon. It was a Republican, and the OSHA bill passed with like astounding bipartisan support. So.
Remember when it used to be able to do that? Bipartisan.
Remember when that was a thing? Crazy.
God.
Times have changed. Anywho. All right, go ahead.
All right, so I'm over 2 here. All right. Last question for you. Okay, you have heard of the wood ash? Yes
Correct.
or no?
I have, yes.
We're actually using it on our job. Project. Yes. Now,
correct.
Ash as a usable product was originally popularized.
It needs to be mixed with some more sort of metal.
Copper. What was it originally popularized for making? What product was made out of ash exclusively that
made it
really
popular?
popularized the harvesting for producing this item? It's a good question. It's a good question.
Great question.
It's an exciting one.
And
What do you got?
was it made?
What was it made for?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. Nice. It's a nice wood.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Beautiful wood. I don't know. I don't know.
I feel like when I say it, you're going to be like, that makes sense. You're like, well, I don't know. What the hell's made out of wood, right? Is that what you're thinking?
I'm like, well, I don't know, 2x4s. Like cedar shake, but ash shake.
Wrong. I'm glad
I don't
didn't
know
say
what.
baseball bats. Yeah, see.
Okay.
Side note, you know that, what is it, Lil Wayne, where it's like, hey, Mr. Carter. You know that
Yeah.
song?
Uh-huh.
I'm just imagining, like, I hope they played that at Jimmy's funeral.
Bet they did. We got a hot jam for you.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna love this.
One of
The
Jimmy's
Carters.
favorites. It was written about him.
Hang
All right, last question. I could tie it up
wait.
here. I could tie it up here for a push. What?
on. I feel like I need to Google this. He might not have died. He might have just turned 100.
No, I think he's dead.
Are you sure? Hang
I
on.
don't think he's with us any longer. Jimmy,
Jimmy
if you can hear
Carter.
us, say something.
No, I feel like he just turned 100.
He's dead.
No, he just turned 100. That's what it was. He's not dead. So there's still time if you want to make a song request.
Hey, Mr. Carter. Tell me
I'm so
where
sorry,
you
Jimmy.
been.
I knew I had seen you in the news recently, and I thought you died, but he just turned 100.
Can't kill that man.
No, it was
Anyway.
his wife passed away not too recently. I was conflating news articles. I'm so sorry. This is
Horrible journalism.
How can the people ever trust us again?
No, they can't. All right, what do you got? I gotta tie this up here. I gotta tie this up here.
Okay.
Is the answer OSHA?
No, but they are involved.
Okay.
All right. This is on ladder law.
Okay, great.
What is the minimum distance a ladder should extend past a roof line? Like if you're climbing up on that roof, you pop your ladder up. What's the minimum distance the ladder should extend?
12 inches.
Incorrect.
6 inches?
3 feet.
3 feet?
3 feet.
What?
That's the OSHA rule. 3
I feel
feet.
like I've never... Oh, probably so you can still have your hands on it?
Yeah. It allows for the most sturdy, like getting
Transfer?
on and off. Yeah.
Huh. That makes sense.
When I saw that, I was like, 3 feet feels like, I don't think we've ever, well, maybe I shouldn't say that, but I feel like
we always do that.
We always
I
do
thought it
3
was like
feet.
10 feet because that's what we always do. We're always
If we're
being
going up
safe.
to the first floor, I'd pop it up to that second floor or whatever.
All right. Well, that was a really big disappointment for me. Horrible performance, and I'm embarrassed. But hey, that's what we do, and I'll come back stronger from this. Hopefully OSHA doesn't find me for that poor performance. But, I think we learned a lot here. OSHA and Ninja Creamies are so similar, and we learn a lot from both, and they make our lives better. So with that being said, we'll just leave it at that. So till next time, this has been the Hardworking Happy Hour.
See you next week.
All
It's
right.
not letting me end this episode.
Yep. Okay.
It's just giving me leave as the option. That's not. All right, well, I'm just going to end the session and then just make sure you leave your computer on the internet so it'll keep uploading if it needs to.
Okay. Bye. I
Bye.
have to pee so bad. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.